I don't want to expose you guys to my weird bodily noises. My pre-stream bodily noises.
Looking at you, looking at me, looking at me, looking at you, and I'm like, wow.
What a rude boy. I want everyone in the place to rock wall to this one. Because this tune is serious. This is the sound of the new generation. I want everyone to put your right hand up and your right hand on the air. Put your right hand up and your right hand on the air. Put your right hand up and your right hand on the air. Put your right hand up and your...
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. How are you guys doing? I love house music. Hey, Psychedeliscope.
Hello, I hope you are having a great day.
I'm doing...
Stoked.
Thank you. I hope you're having a good day too. I'm feeling really good today, actually. Yeah, I wasn't feeling too great over the weekend, but I took a big break from a lot of music-related stuff. I was able to get out of Milwaukee for the first time yesterday since the pandemic came around and put everything in lockdown mode. So it was really great to get out of the city briefly and safely. We just went to my buddy's lake house that his family owns up north a little bit. But yeah, it was really nice to just get out of the city for a little bit, not feel so confined, I guess. But yeah, how's everyone else doing? A la Sophie, congrats on the birthday. Congratulations. I guess people will say congratulations to birthdays. Happy birthday is what normal people would say, I suppose.
Yo, we got a new subscriber.
Parkus141, thank you for the
I
sub.
get a lot of inspirationen in 40 streams. Not to mention the community of homies. Keep it up, Haywyre.
Hey, I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I hope you guys had a good weekend as well. Here's a little noodle for you, Psychedeliscope, for the sub. Let's switch it to the side angle.
Yo, we got a new subscriber.
Wait, let me wait for this to...
Thanks for the inspiration.
Wise guy, thank you for the sub. Okay, Psychedeliscope, here's your noodle. Okay, now we got another noodle for Parkus. It's a really short one. And then here's one for Wise Guy 70 for the sub. Let's do something major. And then Xanderman 72, thank you so much for the sub. Here's a little noodle for you. Okay. Nice. We got those out of the way. Thank you guys so much for the subs. Anyways, so yeah, I think for today's stream, just gonna be some more music production. I did miss Friday's feedback stream. I don't think I have time to make that up today, but maybe I'll do well, I can just do it this Friday, instead, or I could tag it on to like Wednesday's stream or something. But I don't really know if people have a preference there. For today though, I think I just wanted to mess around with the touche a little bit more, because I haven't really done that in a while, and I remember a few people commenting about that. But yeah, let's see. So I don't know if you guys have heard of I think is the company that makes the touche, are they called Touche? Let's see, Touche Device. Oh no, it's Expressive is the company that makes it. But yeah, it was really cool of them to just kind of send me one of these for me to play around with. And I remember doing that on stream a little bit about a year ago or so. And there actually genuinely are some really cool sound like presets to work with. So I guess essentially it has this kind of works similarly to, let's say, maybe like a Contact, like the Contact VST, where the Lie itself is a software that can contain any, or like a lot of different libraries. But I guess what's different is this can actually load up any VST you want. So you can go in here and you could load up, for example, let's say like Serum or something, and then you can have all the parameters from the Touche mapped to macros and random stuff in Serum, which is really cool. So for those of you that don't really know how this thing works, I'll just try to, I'm going to go to the side view quickly, just so you guys aren't confused about what's going on. But yeah, so this is the device right here. And it's this kind of like XY. Actually, no, it's kind of like more of a three-dimensional thing. So it can be, well, no, it is. I think it is kind of like an XY thing. Essentially, this big bar controls 4 parameters, and so there's like you can shove it to the left, you can shove it to the right, and then you can put pressure at the top and pressure at the bottom. And all of those control different parameters. So it's a really fun way to make things sound more expressive, I guess, because you can just add random parameters from any VST onto it and just kind of mess around with it. But it's really interesting, and it it makes a lot of stuff a lot more fun, for me at least, because I'm such an like instrument-based person. I love touching things and playing around with things physically versus just staring at a screen and typing in MIDI notes. You guys probably know that by now. But yeah, so I'll give you an example here of, I'll just load up a random sound. So the first one here. Hold on, why is that so quiet? Also, wait. I don't think this is actually working properly right now. I don't think it's recognizing the MIDI data from it. So let me actually unplug it and replug it. Jesus. Okay. There we go. Now it seems to be working. I think. Yep, there we go. Okay. I had to turn it down a bunch. I guess it's a little misleading because some of the patches make sounds regardless of whether you're controlling the touche or not. And I guess this one, you actually have to activate some of the sensors to get some sound out of it. But anyway, so check this out. So like hold down C, for example, right? And then I can gradually start pressing down on this parameter here, and that'll make some noise. Or I could do this one, or let's see what this does. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. But so let's maybe do a lower note. That sounded kind of aggressive. So you can do the bottom and the top pressure at the same time. But it's so cool because like imagine all the ways in which you can use this, because like even just having one parameter is pretty fun to mess around with, right? But then you can like alternate between these two, for example, and do this. Really cool. So I wanted to just flip through some of the presets that are in here. I just wanted to give you guys that rundown real quick before going into this, because some people might be confused on what the hell's going on. but yeah, I just wanted to play around with some of the sounds and see if I can come up with anything. And it's always interesting because the parameters can be mapped to anything, so sometimes it's a huge surprise to find out what's actually going to happen when you're touching the touche. It's pretty cool. And so this is actually using, so the Lie software is loading up the UVI workstation, and I'm not familiar with UVI really, but apparently they're I think they're a European-based company that makes some pretty awesome VSTs and sound libraries and stuff. Maybe we can get like a drum loop going and mess around a little bit. Might be nicer to have a little bit of rhythm going on in the background. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, wait. Let's do something like that. Make a housey tempo. It's so crazy. It's a pretty massive amount of expression control. It's so cool. And it's very smooth too. Like it's nice. Let's see what else they got here. What's this sound? It's kind of cool. Ooh. Oh, it's got really limited range. Some of the notes. It's a really cool sound though. There is some noticeable latency here though, which is a little unfortunate, but I think that's just natural, like a natural latency within this software. Because when I play my Keyscapes piano patch, it's there's quite a bit less latency. That's a really cool sound though, isn't it? That's really cool. Let's try the next one. That's sick. I like that sound a lot. Okay, so here's the software. This is the VST that's wrapped inside of VA that's generating these sounds, I think. I might be wrong about that. I was gonna try to turn down the decay time. Oh, that's for the reverb, not for the yeah, there's like this. I wish I could make it a little bit shorter somehow. Up, down, key volume, cloud. What? Like totally changed the sound permanently. Or I guess it was temporary. Sorry. Kind of. Wow, that's sick. Let's try a different tempo. Like 80 BPM or something. Let me throw in some random drum kit here. What's this? Actually, I think this one's from Never Count on Me, so I'm gonna try to use this one. It's got it's I think the intro drums from Never Count on Me or something are in this kit. And I like those. They're a bit softer. Yeah. Should I make the bottom right screen a little bit larger for this temporarily for this stream? Maybe I feel like I'm going to be messing around with this touche quite a bit. I'll make this a little bit bigger just for this stream. I'll make it smaller in the future, and that way people can kind of see that a bit better. I'll get a really soft little shaker thing going on in the background as well. Well, maybe I'll do this. Yeah, it's a really cool sound. Let's try another new one and keep jamming. That's a really cool sound. Let's just record that for fun. I think I recorded it in the wrong spot, but that's okay. Voila. Crazy. There's like, just in that one patch, it feels like you get the equivalent of like 6 patches in one, just by having all that expressive control. It's really cool. Let's try another bass patch. Tremolo is coming from moving the entire touche to the right. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, I think oh, that's right. So there's these little controls in the bottom left and right that allow you to switch between presets. And then there's this little knob in the middle that can determine the level of sensitivity for the entire thing, which is kind of cool too. So let's go to another one. Pretty sweet though, isn't it? This thing is probably so good for live shows. Right? Yeah. Good thing there are a ton of live shows happening right now. I should definitely be using these for my jam streams, though. That's a cool sound, too. like, I mean, you can kind of already hear it in this bass patch, but imagine having all these crazy parameters of a Reese like attached to these, and just being able to play around with those would be so cool. But yeah, I like these. I like playing around with these bass sounds quite a bit. Let's record a really simple bass line and then load another patch. Let's just record it. Okay, let's load another Lie patch. There's so much stuff. Let's see. Chill leads. What is this? Pretty cool. Let's try the next one. Kind of cool. Oh, these are goofy. Hey, Psychedeliscope, thank you for gifting that sub to Julian. That is quite generous of you. Here's a little noodle for you, Julian. That sounds like it'd be a fun beat. Actually, it's the same tempo too. What's up?
I cannot get enough of this thing.
It's wild, eh? It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'd love to try to take some of the presets I've made and see if I can like map some of these things to stuff from it. Oh my god, it's so much fun. Okay, let's keep looking at presets. These are a lot of fun to scroll through. Let's see. We got water keys. Ooh, some nice harmonies in there. All those fifths. Let's check out some more stuff. That's a really cool sound. Honestly, like, these are all things I would love to use in songs. Maybe not the leads as much. It helps to be able to play the chords in one hand and use this in the other. I think it'd be quite frustrating if you had to do one at a time. I wonder if I could try to switch it up to the other hand, because my right hand is definitely more dexterous than my left, but I mean, this works fine for now. There's so many cool, like, possibilities. How does the Night Rider bassline go again? Or I guess it's not really the bassline that's well known. Let's go back to this idea for a sec. It's a really cool sound too. Let's try this one. Imagine scoring with this. That'd be really cool. You could probably use this really, like, to really great extents for that kind of stuff. Let's start another, add a locator here. I don't really want to abandon that idea from earlier, but I also want to have another more housey beat somewhere as well to play around with. So let's throw... I wonder if I have any good house loops. I don't... Are there good house loops in Let's just take that kick. Make a little four to the floor thing. Just throw that riff in there. Full on cheesy pop chord progressions. Ooh, my CPU is starting to crackle a little bit though. Maybe these UVI workstations are kind of CPU intensive. Let's find something else to add to this idea though. Yeah, it's definitely crackling a little bit. That's so cool. I love it. I freaking love it. It's so much fun. Maybe I have to render that to audio to avoid the crackling. So let's do that real quick. Damn, it's still crackling. It's definitely something about this plugin, unfortunately. Because I've barely added anything in this project file. Normally, I'll only hear crackling like that if I've added, like, you know, a big mastering chain or something to the project file. But let's keep playing around and see if it persists. Damn it. It is crackling a decent amount. See what it sounds like if we slow this down a bit. I'm totally just goofing around with some of these sounds, by the way. I'm not really trying to necessarily write something right now. I'm just having a lot of fun with these presets and exploring this this device. It's such a fun way to get like a crazy amount of variety, like so much articulation control. So like, it's cool. So I mean, okay, let's take this phrasing here for example. So the rhythmic motive and the chord progression, it just goes like dun 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 bum bum dun 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 or something like that. Bum bum. So as a keyboard player, I would think, okay, here's the rhythm I want. Here's the chord progression I want. because once you've hit the keys, unless you use like aftertouch, there isn't really much control you have over the sound. So it's like, but the cool thing is, you can like, I guess in theory, let's put this over here. You could think of it slightly differently with when you're using the touche. You could write out. So you could do that, and then you could try to create those rhythmic accents with the articulation control instead. So it's kind of an interesting like way to create variations of ideas. And you guys can see how much control I have over this too, right? Like just the smallest like little touch on it. It's pretty sweet. Like check this out. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna scroll maybe through a couple more sounds, and then I think we had this idea from earlier that was kind of cool right here. Would be kind of cool to maybe develop that, unless we come up with something else that's kind of cool. Hey Haywyre, how do you deal with bad emotions? It's a good question. Well, sometimes it depends on what you mean by deal with bad emotions, I suppose, because I think there's kind of, most of the time it's like one of two things. Like one approach is to kind of just confront them and try to grapple with the fact that they exist. Hey, just meet me. Thank you so much for or I guess that was a gift from Psychedeliscope. So welcome and thank you, Psychedeliscope, for gifting that. Here's a little riff for you. Welcome to the fam. That was such a bad riff. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I guess just back to the dealing with bad emotions things. I think there's two approaches to it, and there's a wide variety of bad emotions too, or bad feelings. But I think it's kind of like either a confrontation or an escape. So actually, I think to a degree both of them are necessary, because you can't confront every bad emotion you have every time you have it. Like, it's pretty overwhelming, I think. Every time you're feeling like insecure or depressed or like confused or lost or alone, like there's so many like variations of like negative emotions, and they happen, honestly, I think they happen so often that there's just it's not possible to be like, okay, I'm gonna like figure out like, well, first of all, address the fact that it's there. That's already pretty hard to do. And because most of the time you kind of want to ignore it, I think. Like, you don't really want to have to deal with that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, there's no such thing as a human that doesn't have problems. But yeah, I think it's healthy to do both, at least in my opinion. And I'm not like a therapist or anything like that, so don't take my opinion too seriously on this. But in my personal experience, it's like I think it's really important to address things that make you feel any of those varieties of negative emotions. I think that's great to address them. And honestly, it can be very therapeutic. Like sometimes addressing those root feelings and problems can be like cathartic and might actually make you feel better. For example, like grieving the loss of a family member, you might, I know for me, when I lost my grandfather, for example, I don't think when I heard the news, I didn't really fully process the fact that he had actually passed away. And I hadn't seen him in person in a while, and so it felt kind of surreal anyways. So in my mind, I kind of just, I think I played it down. And then, once family gatherings came about and he wasn't there anymore, I was kind of like, oh, wow, he is actually gone. And then it became like this really depressing and sad thought, which is totally natural. But it took me a while to like make myself vulnerable enough to think about that at all. And I ended up, by feeling like I addressed something that I wasn't able to before, I felt like kind of like this burden lifted from my shoulders a little bit. And it was a good experience at the end after, to process that. But yeah, sometimes you just aren't ready to actually work something out. And some things do take a long time to understand properly, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself either. Like, and this is different from person to person as well. Obviously, I'm not like giving some kind of like blanket advice because I'm somebody. I think from what I understand, I'm like a pretty normal human being, chemically, and physically and mentally. Like, I don't really have too many like massive like imbalances or issues or stuff like that. So, even though I do get really, really sad and sick and stuff like that, I haven't, for example, grappled with what I would consider depression, and stuff like that. And I don't have to deal with that in the way that a lot of other people do. And I'm very fortunate from that perspective. So again, keep that in mind too, that like, what I'm saying is just, I guess, my experience with that kind of stuff. Such a serious talk, and then there's this goofy, funky clav sound. You might also write a beautiful piano solo called Transient. Yeah, it's funny. I think I already mentioned that, but that track was a completely different song. And then actually that experience of writing Transient was, I just improv the whole piece, and then I was just so sad about like actually processing the fact that my grandfather passed away. And I actually realized this while taking an online music therapy course too, that like a big reason why music has been such a big part of my life up until now too is not just because I have a passion for it, but it's so therapeutic to sit down and express what you're thinking or feeling. And sometimes it's a little difficult to do that with other people, because I've learned, at least, let's say, for example, I'm talking with my mom and I'm telling her about something that's really upsetting me or that's really sad to me. The reality is that I am, to a degree, burdening her with those thoughts and feelings. She doesn't want me to be sad. She doesn't want me to feel bad about this. And so, she's going to put time and energy into helping me feel better. And sometimes you don't want to put other people through that. And I think that's part of the reason why things like music are so amazing, because like, obviously, yeah, it can be entertainment. It can be like great background music at a dinner. It can pump you up when you're trying to work out and whatever, but it's also obviously like super meaningful to a lot of people, and I think there's a very good reason for that. And one of the things actually I learned too is that there's this kind of like a oxytocin, a chemical that gets released in your brain, and I think from what I understand, it's when you're listening to music that gets released, and it's also a chemical that gets released when if I'm remembering this correctly, I think it's from social activities, like positive social interactions create like, or maybe it's just social interactions in general create oxytocin in your brain, and it's kind of like a positive reinforcement. And I think it's interesting to think that there's an overlap there, because I mean, when you listen to music and it really means something to you. Hey, thank you for the sub. Rewind. When you listen to music and you're feeling like it's speaking to you, or it's creating like a very intense reaction. You have a feeling of connection, right? Like that word gets thrown around all the time. And there's a chemical reason for that too. There's like a neurological reason for that. So it's not just some kind of like abstract like spiritual experience. It's like literally to some degree there's an overlap in a lot of other experiences, and chemically there's an overlap there too. But yeah, anyways, I think that stuff is really fascinating, and I, up until recently, I'd always known that music is obviously capable of that kind of stuff, but never really thought about the fact that it's such a massive therapeutical device for me too. Like to be able to just sit down and if I'm feeling stoked, I'm just like hammering away on the keys and like just like diving into that feeling of like energy and positivity or whatever. Or other days where I'm like feeling sappy and I'm like nothing's going my way, or like I suck at this, or whatever it is. And then I just kind of like put it into like these really depressing chords, and just being able to address it, even if it's just through this abstract form of expression, like music, it's still just so gratifying. But woo. Anyways, sorry, I don't know how I went on that tirade. That was all of that from one question. Sorry about that. That is actually another thing that I want to get better at, is not apologizing for stupid stuff. It is literally hardwired into my brain. I remember one time, I'll stop telling stories in a second here, but and giving long talks. But I remember when I was growing up, I was just pretty much everybody knew me as like this excessively polite person, and kind of annoyingly polite though. Like I would be playing tennis with my dad, and every time I went to grab a tennis ball, I would apologize for having to run and get the ball. And they would just be like, Martin, stop. You don't have to apologize for that. But yeah, so needless to say, that's been going on for a long time. That's pretty cool. That's a nice sound. I like that. Let's check this one out. Oh, that's the lead. Excuse me. Let's see, what's this thing? Ah! Wish I could play that with my left hand. That's a cool riff, though. That's kind of cool. Let's put that in. I think that's right around 85 BPM anyway, so let's try that out. This is one of those patches that only makes sounds if you're activating the touche, which is kind of cool. That's a nice riff though. I kind of like that. So, okay, I'm gonna ask you guys to help me figure out which variation of this lead is better. Cosmo Pad, deep bass, funky claps. I want to find just like, oh, these are ARPs, bass, key bonus. So tell me which. So I've got like two variations of this riff in my mind. So I've got this first one, and then the second one. I'll play the first one right now, and then you guys can let me know which one you think is better. So here's the first one. Okay, and then here's the second one. What do you guys think? One or two? First one? Yeah, I kind of figured. The second one's a little too complicated or complex, right? Blastvox is the only one that said second. I haven't it sounds more like an A and B theme rather than one is better than the other. Yeah, fair enough. What keyboard is that? This is the Nord Stage 2. Try to throw that in there, maybe mess around with it a little bit. It's so much fun. God, I hope you guys are not sick of me playing around with this thing because I can't get over it. I'm having way too much fun with this thing. So I think there's a couple ideas here that I think are pretty cool. So I like this riff. I'm not sure. It's definitely like more on the melodic side. So I don't think this couldn't be a bass line. I don't think. So let's try to bust out maybe like a. I'll try to use another copy of Lie here and throw in Serum. Let's try that. So that sounds like Serum. And so here's the Serum patch. Here's what it looks like when you load it within Lie. Pretty interesting. So let's just create a little sub. Let's make it mono. Let's get rid of that res actually. So we can mess around more with like mapping parameters from other synths like Serum Inlier. No, there's not much I want to do with this sound right now. It's just supposed to be a sub, but it's cool that you can do that. It's actually like really freaking beautiful when you have that expressive control. Like it reminds me of playing a cello or something, or the sound at least. Like so cool. It's really cool. I don't really want to throw this lead away. I wonder if I can favorite this somehow. Device, touche, sure. New plugin preset, save preset. What happens if I do that? What? Enables pitch bend. Interesting. Lead bonus. I guess I'll just, it'd be nice if there was a rating system. Tag. Yeah, that would be really cool. I know things like Omnisphere and stuff have that, and it's super helpful for just like being able to look at the presets that you like the most. Oh yeah, before I forget, let me just save this project file real quick as well. Sketch Journal. (2020). Okay. I am kind of curious what this sounds like though with another patch. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy that, mute the other one, and try to see if there's another lead around here. Let's see, Angry's A chord, acoustic key. Yeah, we already heard this one earlier, but this is a really cool one. I like that one a lot. maybe a little too spacey for this riff. Oh yeah, that's the patch that we were using earlier. This one's really cool too. I think I like the first one the most though, the Cortica. It's such an easy way to create accents too for riffs. So, you know, obviously I could say like I want the so it's like the 9th and the 10th to be accented in those riffs. So so it goes like and then you know you can obviously just add that in pretty quickly. Sounds better actually. Like that. I like that riff actually. So I'll throw that in there too. I think there was I think it was like the third take that I liked the best. So I have like two riffs here that I think are cool, and I think they interplay pretty nicely. Let me switch to that initial synth that was going with that riff from before. Hey, thank you. I had to read that a couple of times. Thefirlil. Adding vocals today, I don't know. I haven't really done much vocal practice lately. I haven't been feeling very confident in it. But it's always a back and forth with me. Like some weeks I do a bunch of singing and I feel like I'm making great progress, and then other weeks I'm like, why the fuck am I wasting my time with this shit? And then I'm like, you know what? If I like doing it, I should just keep doing it. So it's always a back and forth. I wish I could play that riff and use the touche. I'm sure I could. It's monophonic, so I'm sure I could learn how to do it. I could simplify it a little bit to be able to do it. Because basically I was hearing the beginning of the song maybe starting with that melody and then let's see. I wish I could program out that little transient blip at the beginning of the sound. It does this pitch down. Maximizer. I just don't know these. I don't really know this UVI workstation at all. So I don't really know how this is supposed to work. I don't think any of these settings are gonna help. Oh, that's cool. It's a really cool interface, actually. Wow, I like that sound a lot, actually. I wish I had a little better understanding of how this stuff works. Key volume. Yeah, it's definitely not anything in there. That's amazing. Like, that kind of blows my mind a little bit that that's all in the same patch. Like, all those sounds. Okay, sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm a very ADD producer. So I don't really know what to do here because I don't think I want to dive super deep into this synth right now. I think I just want to write the idea out. So, Okay, I've got an idea. I'm just gonna start sketching stuff out here. So let's see. Let's take this. We're gonna put it here. We're gonna try to sketch out just a tiny little structure for this idea that we're writing here. So let's say in theory. Yeah, let's maybe break it up just a little bit. Okay, cool. And then we'll extend that we'll just double the length of that. And then we'll have some kind of like little drum blips starting. And then maybe we'll have a groove starting here. I think this riff is something that might be cooler later in the song. I think this is a good, like, maybe bridge writing or something. Like, after the riff has kind of, that beginning motive has been really fleshed out and heard a few times. Then maybe it can kind of break apart and open up to that. But I was definitely feeling that riff. It felt like there was a lot of energy behind that. I definitely like that. I feel like it's got a lot of rhythm. It feels exciting. You know, might take the track in a interesting direction. So let's add a downbeat sound to the beginning of this idea. Effects, downlifter. Take this. Yeah, let's get a hi-hat pattern in there as well. Let's see. Do a little triplet. I can't beatbox it. Beatboxing triplets at this tempo is kind of hard. I've begun my transformation into a water sprinkler. Hold on. Yeah. That's the spice. The spice. I don't really know where this is going, but I definitely feel like the emotion of the vibe is keeping me interested. So I wish I could fix this synth up. Like if this was a serum patch, I would know exactly what to do. I would just take the envelope off of the pitch, wherever it's hiding, and then the synth would sound perfect, I think. Maybe it can pop in here actually. Kind of sounds like a build melody now to me almost. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on here, but just gonna keep working on it and see what happens. Maybe I can find some kind of polyphonic synth from Lie to throw in here. So let's look at ooh, maybe they've got some cool arps. That's kind of cool. Is that a no? I'm in TLM. It's the 102. Yep, you got it right. Just not 103, it's 102. Bells. Not really what I'm looking for. I want something polyphonic here. Maybe this is a good occasion to try to use serum within this. Let's give it a go. So let's just detune this a little bit, and let's get a basic macro controlling the cutoff filter here, and let's attach that to the top parameter, whatever. I don't know what this thing is called.
We got a new subscriber.
Yo, I'm Purple Gaming. Thank you so much for the sub. I'll get you a little noodle going here in a sec. Oh my god, that's so many parameters. So yeah, just how in the matrix of Serum itself, you can choose all these parameters. You can choose them all within Lie too, which is pretty sweet. But oh my god, this is a lot of things. Oh yeah, macro 1. There we go. So in theory, haha, that's so cool. Yeah, so I'm controlling that now within, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a MIDI instrument, but it's like a better version in a way of like an expression pedal, because it's so much more sensitive, and it's got like more in-depth software to come with it, so it's pretty sweet. Okay, let's fine tune this a little bit more, and then see if we can. Do you guys have any thoughts on what parameters I should try to map out? If you guys have any ideas, feel free to share. Like if you want to hear distortion on one of the parameters, so you can hear that while I'm jamming out with it. Just let me know. I'll look at the chat and see if you guys have any suggestions. I've noticed you have your keyboard tilted up down sometimes during shows. Yeah, so it's mainly for visibility. Like it doesn't really affect playing that much. It is a little more inconvenient, but I think it's worth the sacrifice just to make it easier for people to see, because the normal stationary like horizontal piano, you gotta have cameras and stuff on you, which I tend to do have those during shows anyways, but it just helps. I think it makes it look cooler as well. So there's that. Vibrato would be cool for sure. Heavy flanger, whatever. I don't know how to say it. Delay would be cool too. Okay, so let me get that vibrato going, because the vibrato is usually a little bit trickier. Damn, there's something happening outside right now. I've been hearing a lot more sirens on a regular basis in my city. I don't know if you guys have been experiencing that too, but I feel like yeah, shit's just crazy right now. Things are really wild and everywhere. Okay, perfect. So we got macro 2 for vibrato. We'll take it off a BPM. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we'll have macro 2 on the right thing. Like I'll move it to the right to get that going. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but so right now no vibrato. And then once I move this to the right, nice. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to be able to jam on. Just control the articulation of the chords a bit, the rhythm. Maybe I should have reverb on one of these as well. So let's maybe take, yeah, let's maybe put one macro on the reverb, and we'll put that on the left, I guess. Macro 3. Okay. And then what else did you guys say? I thought some people said flanger. Let's reduce the depth a bit, turn up the feed. Very cool. And we'll add that to this macro here. And then that will be, which one are we not using? Oh yeah, down. Okay. So, whoops. Macro 4. Sweet, okay. Let's try it out and see what happens. kind of hard to be aware and control all of them simultaneously, but it's still really fun. Okay, let's Okay, let's refine this sound a little bit. Because I guess I can use external plugins on this as well, of course. So let's do a little bit of that. And let's refine that filter movement a little bit. Actually, a little bit of distortion could be nice. What if we added, Can I add some crazy high end? Maybe we'll turn it down just a little bit, but it's kind of nice. Ooh. It's a little harsh. I wonder if I can try to... Let me just record this, the chords. Wait a minute, what's going on here? It's kind of acting weird. So what I was thinking of doing was, oh yeah, okay, so here's the macro. I want to kind of change how the filter movement sounds a little bit. Yeah, it's doing something weird right now. It's not actually reacting properly for some reason to the filter movement with the recorded MIDI. I don't know why, but that's kind of cool, I guess. Maybe I'll get rid of the res just a little bit. Maybe I'll not have it close as much too. Oh my god. It is really tricky to do both at the same time, but it is pretty fun though. So I liked this idea. Ugh. So some. I kind of messed that up. Let me record that first part of the phrase again. Anyways, I think if anything, it's just cool to kind of explore the possibilities of using like this wrapper VST and being able to control like macros with the Touche in various ways. It's really interesting. Could you move Serum so we could see the other plugin better? Oh yeah, sure. Oh wait, this isn't the same one. Here we go. If you're talking about Lie, you're not really going to see much in Lie though. You're just going to see whether any of the parameters are active on the Touche. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So what are these? Can you add... Oh, those are the... What is this? I don't really know. Macro 2? None. Oh, I see. So I could click on something and then just assign it to... I guess I was doing the long... I can't talk anymore. What am I saying? Okay, so I think if I click on this and then I click on this, does it assign it automatically? Oh, it does. That's so cool. So now let's maybe add that to oh, you can control the velocity curves and everything too. That's good to know. I don't really have to do anything else there. Anyways, so I think I'm gonna take a break now. I need to go hit the gym, take a brief break from music. And I also really need to exercise. I haven't exercised in a few days now. My body's feeling like poop. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you guys had fun watching me test out the Lie. And I think we made some I don't know, it was kind of a cool little idea. Probably not the most impressive use of the Touche, like this writing at least, but I think I can keep working on it because I haven't even written in any of the automation. So you know, stuff like that, like adding little embellishments to it would be really cool. But yeah, just kind of like messing around, creating some ideas. But thank you guys for hanging out today. Yeah, I need to get back into doing the push-up subs. It's been a while since I've done that. Anyways.
Yo, we got a new subscriber.
Fusedlan.
Oh, hello.
Why did it say it like that? Okay, before I end the stream, I'll do a little riff for Fusedlan. Let's see. Let's open up a new copy of Lie. little goodbye riff. Let's see, what sound should we get going here? HE pad interlead. Oh, there's a bunch of leads here. What is this? Okay, that's kind of a weird sound. Maybe not that one. What a bad riff. Hold on. That's kind of cool. Okay, that wasn't much better either. But anyways, thank you for the sub and thank you guys for watching. I am going to go get some exercise in. Hope you guys are staying healthy as well. Drinking lots of water, eating some good food, getting outside, working out, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday. Hope to see you guys there. Peace. Thank you.